November 8, Lima, Whiskey, Foxtrot, QSL.
Yes, sir. Whiskey Foxtrot, and what's the name there?
Yes, sir. Whiskey Foxtrot, and what's the name there?
The name is Andy, Alpha November Delta Yankee.
Roger, Andy, and what's your mobile, and where are you located?
Roger, Andy, and what's your mobile, and where are you located?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio.
Alrighty, and what radio is you running, Andy?
Alrighty, and what radio is you running, Andy?
This is an ICOM IC9100.
Alrighty, gosh, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with your compressor. Sometimes it was really loud, and then sometimes, like the last transmission, it was fairly in the right place. So I'm not real sure. You know, that's a tricky thing about running a compressor in a mobile, because your ambient noise level is quite high normally in a mobile. Roger?
Ambient noise level is quite high normally in a mobile. Roger?
Well, yes, that would be true for sure. I'm not, to my knowledge anyway, running a compressor, and I apologize. I didn't hear if you were looking for mobile check-ins only, but I am not mobile.
Oh, Roger, I thought you were. That's why I was hearing, maybe it was somebody, maybe it was mobile QRM that was coming in. That's why I thought you were mobile, because I definitely heard mobile audio in back of you, Roger. So it must maybe somebody else keying at the same moment. Alrighty, so why don't you give me about 10 seconds and tell me about your antenna system, and let me look around and see if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
Let me look around and see if I can find the best path for us, Roger.
Why, sure. We wire. The apex of it is approximately 23 feet in the air. The ends of the V are probably 8 to 9 feet in the air. Okay?
Alrighty, I'm copying you on my local antenna for the moment. That will probably shift off. We have a setup procedure, if you would be interested. Starts with you, I don't know, how you can do that, but are you in your widest transmit mode possible? Your widest TBW, 100 to 2900?
Yes, it should be 2900 at possibly 3000.
Right, 2,900 is recommended. 3,000, you have people coming looking for you with pitchforks, Roger.
I see what you mean. I understand. I see what you mean. I understand. In any case, I believe it's. Hang on a second. Let me hit this here, and it is saying the passband tuning says 2.9K.
Yes, sir. That's beautiful. That's the best way to run that radio. You want all the articulation you can get, because many times you're not in ideal situations as far as folks that you're talking to, and when you're down there about 1 dB above somebody's noise level, you want all the articulation in your audio that you can get. And if you're running at a less bandwidth than the maximum, you start rolling off your top end. You're rolling off the bottom, but you're rolling off the top. And your top end equalization is where all your mic articulation is, Roger.
Equalization is where all your mic articulation is, Roger.
Yes, exactly right. And to be honest, I'm glad you said so, because articulation with my actual mouth is something I have to concentrate on, or else I get lazy and I don't articulate quite so well. So thank you for mentioning.
Yes, so the more you are set up technically to facilitate your articulation, the less you actually have to work on your, because it's helping you. It's not hindering you. So what we go for is max articulation in the audio, which again, we normally recommend a 3 to 10 on the compressor engaged, or a 30 out of 100, whichever comes first. It's a token amount, but and you might check that. We're looking for a 3 out of 10 or a 30 out of 100 since you're not mobile, Roger.
3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100 since you're not mobile, Roger.
Okay, I'm also paying attention now to the ALC, and I may have been hitting, there it goes, it just dropped, I think, a little bit. I may have been hitting the ALC a little hard, which if you do that enough, I'm sure that sounds a lot like compression. How's this?
Right, that's our next step. ALC is the next step after you get your compressor online at a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100. So if you've got that, let's move to your ALC. Roger?
30 out of 100. So if you've got that, let's move to your ALC. Roger?
I'm ready.
All right, with the mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, spoken just like any other word in a QSO, audio, set your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
All right. Audio, audio, audio. There's halfway.
All right, it's just a little bit more than halfway. It's mid-scale to 2/3. And that's, you want to be sure that you get that 2/3 occasionally, because the ideal sweet spot is midway between mid-scale and 2/3. Roger?
Sweet spot is midway between mid-scale and 2/3. Roger?
Okay, let's do that then. That should be that's about it. And if I talk really loudly, it'll peak up to about 75%. So I think that's exactly where I want it to be, right here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And with you, that reading will give you a 3 dB dynamic range in your audio, which translates to 80 to 85% of average peak modulation, which is a nice fat signal. And if you go past a 3 dB dynamic range and squish your audio even more, like a 2 dB, words start to blur, and then that is counterproductive to your intelligibility. Roger?
Is counterproductive to your intelligibility. Roger?
I copy.
All right, so now why don't you give me about 10 seconds. Let me listen to your audio as you tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds.
Listen to your audio as you tell me about your antenna system for about 10 seconds.
Okay, so here we are. At this point in time, I have a small, it's actually a painter's extension pole that has some guy wires that's holding things up in the backyard, and it's been working pretty well.
Roger. Now just verify again that your compressor is running 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, because I did hear it moving around just a little bit, and I shouldn't hear it at all at that setting. So double check. How is your input control labeled? Is it 3 out of is it 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 100?
Is it 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 100?
This compressor knob says 0 to 10. Right now it is at 2.9.
Yes, sir. That's ideal. All right. Do you know where your equalization page is?
That's ideal. All right. Do you know where your equalization page is?
I don't believe I'm aware this radio has an equalization for the mic.
All right. Let me give you a note to self. Look in your book and see if you do have equalization. If you do, we want to brighten that top end up about 3 clicks boost treble EQ from where it is. 3 clicks treble boost from where it is. Roger?
3 clicks treble boost from where it is. Roger?
Thank you for mentioning it. I will check that out. I'm not sure how this is done, but I will check it out.
Roger, it sounds really good now. I mean, but just looking for a little more clarity and just a little more articulation to help you in situations where, you're marginal and somebody's trying to copy you through the mud. Roger?
And somebody's trying to copy you through the mud. Roger?
Yeah, I understand completely. I'm really glad that you have the time to do this, too. It's a big help because, as you know, I can't hear myself.
Yes, sir. And even if you could, sometimes it's really difficult to hear what you're saying as you're saying it. It's just, it's a matter of concentration, and it's, really difficult. So I'm listening to you down to 100 cycles on my receiver, and my audio system is good to down to 40 cycles on the bottom, and 16K on the top. So I can really perceive exactly where your audio is, Roger.
I can really perceive exactly where your audio is, Roger.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Alrighty, and so, if you would, I would like a little bit more recording. We're going to be posting this up on YouTube, so why don't you give me about 15 seconds on something that I don't know about, so we get a little bit more recording from you.
On something that I don't know about, so we get a little bit more recording from you.
All right, this is Andy. My name is Andy. This is November 8, Lima Whiskey Foxtrot. Sitting in the east side of Columbus, Ohio. It's sunny and almost warm here, and yet here I am playing on the radio, because where would anybody else be?
Precisely. Any dedicated amateur radio operator is going to be on the radio. Well, Andy, I think we got it, sir. We'll be posting this up on YouTube, so if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, would take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 of a series of 2100 Qso-Vlog AIRCHECK recordings, regardless of what YouTube says. So again, it's KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and we'll have it posted by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Logbook, and we'll have it posted by noon tomorrow. Roger?
Very good, sir. Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, November 8, Lima Whiskey Foxtrot, over.
Roger, Roger. 73, Andy. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.